a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late.
Yes, I am late. What am I late to? I'm late to my own damn collab. That don't make no sense at all, but I'm late. All right. So anyway, doing a collab today that I create. Well, it's kind of like a whatever. So anyway, it's a collab on weddings. I've done this before for brides. I did it last year, put it in the cards right up here. But this time I wanted to add, some friends to it. And then I said, well, if it's a bride at a wedding, there's a groom. And grooms wear fragrances too. So I asked a couple of fellas to help me out with this. So here are the beautiful people in the collab with me. I swear, I really wanted this group because everybody has such a different style. Everybody has, so they're going to bring different vibes to each of these types of weddings. So make sure that you go visit all of them because these are all my people. There's Yummy411. We got, my boy Jerry from ChiScents773. The ever fabulous and glamorous Perfumes with Pat. And homeboy from the ATL, Mario Dones. So if you are ready to hear about what we have planned for brides and grooms this year in 2021, come on with it. All right, so let's talk about 2021. Now, of course, 2020, people, the whole wedding thing was, really interesting. Of course, we had a wedding in my house, B and son-in-law got married. But now we are, I think weddings are going to be a little more this year. People are getting back into the groove of their lives and everything. And people who had to, postpone their weddings are now getting ready to do them. So let's talk about 7 different types of weddings and the fragrances that I recommend for those types. Now, let me say this is that I did both affordable and luxury for each type. And the reason why I did that is because weddings aren't always about spending the most money. Sometimes, you on a budget because you got other things to do with your money. You want to have a fabulous wedding, but you don't have the money to spend on things. And you have to allocate your money right. And one of the last things you're going to allocate money on is a fragrance if you're going to do one for your wedding. So I wanted to make sure I had some budget-friendly ones ready too. So let's go ahead and talk about them. All right, let's get to it. All right, so the first wedding is island wedding. Now I know a lot of people are doing these destination weddings. They're going out to Jamaica, they're going down to Mexico, they're doing the Bahamas, they get married on beaches and everything. Island weddings are really, quite in. So the ones I have for that are on the affordable side, Alien Eau Sublime. Now you cannot go wrong with this with the alien. It has that alien vibe, DNA, but then it gives it a little sweetness. It's got that tiare flower. It's got a little tropical vibe to it, which makes it perfect for an island wedding. Now, I was going to say one thing for an island wedding, but then I thought about it. I said, that's a little too intense. You don't want to overpower everybody with your fragrance. You want it to be slightly subtle, but still there. So if you are, going luxury with this, luxurious with it, I'm going to say Moonlight in Heaven by Killian. Now, I also think this would be awesome to do the travel sprays because you can have this in your little bag. It can be around in case you need to freshen up. But Moonlight in Heaven is just this, such an elegant tropical. It is, got that coconut vibe. It's got mango. It's got rice in it. It's very elegant and smooth and sophisticated. And for a really sophisticated island wedding, you pulling out all the stops, your friends are there, y'all balling out at the beach. This is perfect for a Moonlight in Heaven. Then we talk about spring garden weddings. Wedding season is almost here. What is it, May 1st? So we're almost there. And one of the things is a beautiful spring wedding. I love spring garden weddings with all all that, you know, beauty of the beautiful spring flowers and the bright colors. I love spring weddings. So for that, you want to have something that kind of vibes with that, you know, it's kind of ethereal, but has a sweetness to it. So on the affordable side, I'm going to say Versace Janoon Satin. It's a floral fruity, and it's very sophisticated. It has an elegance, and it's very affordable, but it will make you, it'll give you this kind of airy, feathery, light vibe to it, but still has a sweetness to it. So there's that one for it. And then this one right here, I love this fragrance. This one is almost gonna have you feel like you part of the garden. You are part of the garden. Your fragrance is going to like blend in. People are gonna be like, goodness, she smells so garden fresh. And you do, because you are wearing Maison Lancome's Magnolia Rosé. This is rose, magnolia, musk. It's got a little sweetness in it. Oh yes. You are going to smell so spring-like. You're going to smell like you are part of the garden. You're going to smell like, you know, you should be just like floating down the aisle when you're wearing this. Now, princess wedding. Now, I know the fellas was a little bit confused, weren't quite sure about this because they don't think about it like this, but y'all ladies know what we're talking about when we're talking about a princess wedding. Y'all know what I'm talking about right here. You know it, you know. Princess wedding is about the princess dress, you know, the big poofy dress. Sometimes they wear, you know, little tiaras and everything. It's very, it's formal, but it's a certain type of formal that's very much about like looking like a princess and feeling like a princess. So a princess will have a prince, but it's primarily, it's our day. So anyway, with a princess, you should have a very, you know, kind of classic, but speaks to like royalty. It's got a kind of royal elegance to it. It's got this kind of like luxuriousness to it, a little, you know, well bred, because this is princess. And so for on the affordable side, this one is, where's the name of it? L'Entrée EDT. So this is L'Entrée EDT. Now, the reason why I chose this one is because, you know, a lot of weddings are in the summertime, in warmer weather. This one is the lighter version of it. It has it's more of a floral with a little sweetness. So it's perfect for summertime. It'll give you that classic tuberose, that very princessy, very highbrow, swanky vibe to it, but it will not be as overpoweringly, cloyingly sweet as like L'Entrée Intense or even the original L'Entrée, because it is a little sweeter than this one. So this is L'Entrée EDT. All right, next up is luxury princess. And princess weddings are just, you know, even if you're doing it on a budget, you got to have it has to have a certain glamour to it. It has to have a little sparkle to it. And so what sparkles, what's glamorous? Let's go with Love Tuberose by Amouage. Now there's a couple of I almost went with, but I decided to go with this one because this is just, Love Tuberose. It's a creamy, beautiful, sweet tuberose, and it's got that whipped cream note in it, and it just has this creamy, just, you know, gentle yet posh vibe to it. It's very, you know, polished. This is very country club. You know, when Amouage come, it comes with that vibe. It comes with that vibe of money. This is money. So, you know, princess money. And I mean, look at it. It got a little crown on it. It's perfect for the princess bride. Love Tuberose. Yes, 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 yes. All right, so then we got winter weddings. Winter weddings are a little deeper. You know, the color schemes are deeper, you know, navy blues, burgundies, deep emerald greens, you know, and the fragrance is going to be deeper. You know, you're going to be wearing, because you might come in with furs on, you know what I'm saying? You might come in with, or with your, you know, fake fur up, whatever you want to do. But anyway, I thought of deeper fragrances. I thought about how, you know, you could just be rocking like this really deep, sexy fragrance. So I have two of them. The first one is Amber Mystique by Estee Lauder. Now this is this sexy rose amber oud combination. It's got vanilla in it, it's got incense in it. It's a very strong, sensual fragrance, but it still has enough class to it, so it's not lowbrow, it's not low class or anything. It doesn't say, hey, sexy mama. It says sensual and beautiful and deep and mysterious, and you know, like an ice queen an ice queen in a winter wedding. Now, this one is not necessarily, well, it's a little bit hard to find. It's a luxury line of a designer, and that is Elisab's Cure Yelang. Now, this is a Francis Kurkdjian creation, and it is, oh my gosh, it is leather and yelang, and this is just perfect. It just speaks of this beautiful, mysterious, sexy, well put together bride, you know, where you are the type of bride that will be wearing a black dress in wintertime. You know, this is very elegant. This is very formal affair. And usually winter, when I think of winter weddings, they're very formal. You know, most of the winter weddings I know are more formal. So this is perfect for it, you know, because it has a certain formalness to it, but it still has a little glamour to it to make it perfect for a wedding, because that yelang is considered an aphrodisiac. It is a very it pushes toward the pheromone. It's a very like a pheromone, which is beautiful to be wearing as your husband, your soon-to-be husband, is standing there saying his vows to you and smelling how sexy and beautiful and flirtatious his wife smells. Even getting married, she's letting him know, yeah, the honeymoon is about to be honey moon. All right, so that's Cure Yelang. Traditional. Now, traditional, you know, that's the church. That's the 17 brides and groomsmen. You know, it's just everything that you think of in a wedding that is, you know, that we do, that you see most people do. You know, it's traditional. You know, we towing the line. We towing the line. And for a traditional wedding, you should wear something that's very classic, you know, something that's very stylish yet crowd pleasing, that says that I am here, we are doing this the correct way, we are not wavering from tradition, you know, we're going to have everything done the right way. We are going to be, you know, I'm going to be in my dress, he's going to be in the perfect tux, you know, we are going to be looking like a magazine cover that says traditional wedding. So for that one, let's go on with a little something so on the affordable side, because tradition it's not about money, it's about what you do, how you handle it. We're gonna go with Dahlia Divine by Givenchy. This is such an underrated and needs to be worn more floral. It's a traditional floral. It's got these classic vibes. It's flowery, but not too flowery. It's got a little deepness to it. It toes the line right in the middle where it's beautiful, but it will not it won't anybody saying, what is she wearing? That's weird. They're gonna be like, oh, she's got this beautiful floral. It's so perfect with her perfectly traditional, perfectly well done. The food was right. The church was beautiful. The ceremony was awesome. And she smelled like this wonderful bride coming down the aisle. So that's for Dahlia Divine. Now, y'all know I love this. Y'all know I love this. I think this could be worn for every occasion, anything you're doing. Let's all say it together. Wild Python. This classic white floral, primarily tuberose, is perfect for a traditional wedding. You are going to smell like a bride. You're going to smell beautiful. It's a very attractive, it's a very stylish and very tasteful. You're going to smell it's going to be very tasteful and stylish. This right here, I mean, honestly, any one of these categories, I could have threw Wild Python in, and she would have been, well, other than the island. I don't know if it's the island, but all the rest of them could have been in any of those. Wild Python. All right, now modern. Modern is more like, when I think modern, I think like, you know, it has elements of tradition, but they, you know, try to do it with a little more style, a little more individuality, which would be like maybe having it in a loft, you know, doing some things that are a little more them, you know, like doing the candle ceremonies or the sand ceremonies, things like that. A lot of times with modern weddings, I think about blending of families, things like that. But this is about, you know, being modern, being, you know, a little more, you know, not still classic, but with a more youthful, not necessarily youthful, but a more millennial edge to it. Modern. All right, so modern, we're gonna say for that one, for affordable, I'm gonna go with I'm about to drop it, Angel EDT. Now I have the common edition. You could do the 2019 of it. You can also use the 2019 one, but I have the common one. This, I think, will be beautiful because it's like that patchouli and vanilla, but then it's lightened up and it's got the berries, because the original Angel could probably choke out the whole church or loft or wherever you're having your wedding at. But Angel EDT has a certain softness, a little sweetness to it that'll make it just, you know, work. You know, it's perfect for modern, because this is like the modern take on a very well-known and iconic fragrance, which is Angel. All right, in the niche category. Now this is kind of new to my collection, but this is definitely modern. I mean, this is Croix d'Angers. Let's get them things going, because you know, you want to see that right there. You know, this says modern. This is just, oh my goodness, this is such a provocative, sexy fragrance, and a modern bride doesn't mind being very sexy because she sits in it. But then this is this beautiful floral, sweet, sexy, but it isn't like your usual ones. It isn't like the ones that you can go to a department store and get. This definitely has a modern edge to it. It's got a little spiciness. It is so pretty on, and it's just like, as you walk past everyone, they're going to be turning their heads like, oh my goodness, she smells divine, absolutely divine. So that's Croix des Anges. Des Anges? I think I said it right. Okay, I don't know. I might need to Google that. All right, and then finally, the hipsters. Now you're going, well, what's the difference between modern and hipsters? Let me tell you the difference. Modern has a certain amount of tradition to them. You know, a modern wedding is going to be pretty much, kind of traditional, but with a youthful playfulness about it. Hipsters tend to be trying to do things just a little, they just trying to be different. Those are the ones. Like modern is, like a nice little Chuck Taylor's or something, whereas the hipsters gonna come in and do something like where they're doing a whole like rockabilly themed wedding where it's very 50s inspired. Hipsters tend to do things like with a really interesting theme, or maybe even a venue, like, we're gonna get married coming, our ceremony is gonna be as we are dropping out of a parachute. But they're like those people, hey, like they you know, they're really hip, you know, like the guys with those like those beards that are like here and they're squared off, and you know, they wear their jeans with a cuff in them, you know, looking slightly 50s, but still thinking they're like not, but they are. Okay, and then they Chuck Taylors and stuff. So anyway, that's kind of hipsterish to me. So, you know, like in Chicago, they're on the north side. You know, there's always this area of town where the hipsters hang out. You know, y'all know, tell me where y'all hipster area is, because y'all got one. Y'all got one. All right, so anyway, hipsters. So on the affordable side, hold on, I didn't pick it up. All right, this hip chick, she's you know, they don't have a lot of money, but they're going to have one of them hip, you know, barefoot, you know, vegan weddings, things like that. Now, even though she might not wear this, because I don't think this is vegan or anything, but oh well, she wearing it today. This is Elie Saab's Girl of Now Forever, because it has that tartness from the raspberry and the lemon. Very kind of Delina-ish, beautiful rose, you know, with this raspberry and lemon tartness to it, which makes it very hip and of, you know, of the times, you know, very hip and chic and everything. So that's what she gonna wear, because she's, you know, and she's gonna pretend like it's not a big thing, like she didn't even think about it. She just threw on some fragrance when she spent 2 weeks trying to figure it out to find the most hip, the most, you know, unique, make her smell like, oh yes, you are on top of it. Yeah, that's her. All right, and then for niche, I had one in mind, but then I'm changing it up at the last minute. Now I'm going to show you a decant of it, but I actually have a full bottle coming. Birthday month, I tell you. This is Figment by Amouage. Now, the reason why I picked this out is because this one right here is just, it's got this unique, it's unique. It has a spiciness, it's got florals, and it's like this spicy, sweet floral. But it doesn't smell like the traditional, usual spicy, sweet florals. It's got this slightly powdery, very glamorous. And the reason why I would say a hipster will want this is because I promise you, she's not gonna, and none of her friends ain't wearing this, you know, because this is an Amouage, and Amouages have all these notes and all this, you know, layers, and it starts one spot and then it ends in another, and it does have that to it, because in the beginning, let me spray it one time. In the beginning, it's a little sweeter, and but as it dries down, the sweetness and the little spiciness stays there, but it's like about these florals. I will be talking about this a little more, because I have a very interesting description of it, but I don't want to use it in this video. But I think this would be beautiful for a, you know, kind of hipster chick who, you know, prides herself on being unique. This is definitely a unique fragrance. All right, so that is it for this collab. Once again, I want to thank my partners in crime with this. Thank you all for doing this with me. Make sure you go and visit them, and see their information is in the description box. Go ahead and check them out, because I've already watched some of them because I'm late as hell, but I did watch a few before I did film this right quick. And I think you need to go and check them out and see what they had to say. So, as always, it's LuuLuu. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. You know, leave a comment, like, whatever. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. Just do what you're going to do.